The news comes as several states across the nation are taking action to try and prevent West Nile from spreading, as well as Eastern equine encephalitis, or triple E. DHS says older adults and those with compromised immune systems are at greatest risk for severe illness. The ages of those who died are not known. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
An average of 18 cases of West Nile virus illnesses are reported among Wisconsin residents each year. To the north, a teenage inmate at Green Bay Correctional is dead, and local leaders want that facility closed now. The Brown County Sheriff's Office arrived Tuesday night to reports of an inmate unconscious and not breathing. A 19-year-old inmate named Micah Loriano died. Now, the Sheriff's Office investigating his cellmate, Jackson Vogel, who's 24, as the primary suspect. Now, the Village of Alloway president, Jim Rafter, is voicing his frustration to NBC 26.
When people are losing their lives, when I hear from parents whose sons are in that facility and the way that they are being treated or not being treated, it gets me mad.
The facility is more than 100 years old. Rafter wants it to close its doors. He plans to call for a public hearing on the matter with state legislators. A pivotal day in court today as Brian Kohlberger's legal team tries to convince the judge in Moscow, Idaho, to move his trial. Defense attorneys argue in new court documents that a mob mentality within the community justifies a change in venue to a different county, but prosecutors say they are confident the court can seat a fair and impartial jury. You may recall Kohlberger accused of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students as they slept in a house off campus. He's pleading not guilty. Speaking to ABC News, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Bernardo Villanueva says the judge could issue a questionnaire to prospective jurors.
When it comes to jury selection, it's not about whether you heard about the case. It's not about whether you heard about Brian Kohlberger. It's more of, can you be a fair and impartial jury? Can you determine the evidence and the facts based on what's presented inside of that courtroom?
They will be in court today debating that issue. Back here at home, We Energies gets an unlikely supporter for its proposed rate hike. Microsoft supports the energy company's efforts to raise rates for customers. The Milwaukee Business Journal is reporting that Microsoft's planned $3 billion investment into its Mount Pleasant data center would become the largest electric load served by We Energies, and that a reliable and resilient energy supply is critical. The rate case is now pending before the Public Service Commission. Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Things looking good on Wall Street at the moment. The Dow is up 234 to 41,326. The Nasdaq is up 206 to 17,758, and the S&P is up 42 to 5634. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
HNTB, much like downtown Milwaukee, is on an accelerated growth track. Hi, I'm Ashley Booth, the Wisconsin office leader and a vice president of HNTB. The opportunities in downtown Milwaukee are endless, and it continues to be a tremendous location for retaining and attracting talent. I love working downtown, and so do all of our employees. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
This report is sponsored by Uline. Visit uline.com today.
Uline is here for the hard workers, for the ones rolling up their sleeves, working round the clock, and getting the job done. You're dedicated to doing what it takes to keep a business growing. Uline is dedicated to helping you make that happen. Working 7 days a week, staying fully stocked and ready to ship any of our 41,000 items the same day. Uline, your shipping and industrial supply specialists. Visit uline.com.
Our goal is to provide patients with the strongest, most effective, and safest options in this exciting field of regenerative medicine.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
The idea that you can avoid a joint replacement is very exciting.
And that's from a surgeon who's done thousands of joint replacements, but who now believes there's a better way.
Regenerative medicine, as we understand it today, gives lasting pain relief, improved function, without surgery, without drugs.
Under Dr. Schonkup's leadership, QC Kinetics medical professionals treat patients every day with the most advanced protocols in natural biologics. Literally tens of thousands of people all over America.
I've been doing research on regenerative medicine for 2 decades. This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers look to take the series after a win against the Giants at AmFam on Wednesday night, 5-3. The Brewers put a baseball picture with the number 11 on the spot where Jackson Churio hit the scoreboard the night earlier. It was there all night last night. GM Ed Arnold tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I thought that was cool. I mean, I think it would be interesting. I'm not sure if it's still going to be there today, but maybe we'll put another one up there and knock a few more lights out.
Day baseball today, 12:35 is our coverage here on WTMJ. First pitch after 1 o'clock. And Packers will induct linebacker Clay Matthews and defensive end Aaron Kampman into the Packers Hall of Fame tonight. WTMJ, Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. So far, so good on the roadways. 94 eastbound, Highway 16 all the way in is fine. And 4145 southbound, Highway Q to the Zoo is looking good. Again, some typical delays on 894 westbound because of the road work, but otherwise you should get through just fine.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
WTMJ 5-day forecast for the day today. Partly cloudy. There is a chance later on tonight for some rain, but today partly cloudy and a high of 80 degrees. Tonight, chance for an isolated storm possible, a low of 70. For Friday, maybe some rain early on, otherwise cloudy and humid tomorrow, high of 82. Then the holiday weekend looks dry. Sunny, 82 on Saturday, sunny, 76 on Sunday, and sunny, a high of 72 on Labor Day, Monday. I'm Eric Bilstead, Side and Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, it's time to fast forward. Welcome to the future of almost everything in Wisconsin on the Upswing. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Joining WTMJ's Jeff Sherman, here's Steve Glenn and Martin Moore.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. The future of almost everything. Steve Glenn, Martin Moore. Always honored to have these fine gentlemen in the studio on Thursdays. Commerce, community analysis on local and national business issues. All exciting technology trends and takes. Important news you can use. We're here in the present to give you a little glimpse into the future. On the list today, we'll talk about Apple. We'll get to some juice bars. We'll talk about Kohl's, the American Dream, Red Bull, Wake. The city comes to town Saturday. I think we're going to have a couple athletes in the studio at the end of the show to talk about their entrepreneurial journeys, how they make their living on the water, and the importance of Red Bull and sponsorship in the sports world. But as we do each and every show, two up, one story that I'm seeing, this is from JS Online yesterday. Is there another Bartolotta restaurant coming to downtown Milwaukee? Well, it's one of three possible plans. So there's these two publicly owned museums on Milwaukee's east side. Again, reporting from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. A boutique hotel could be coming. An events venue could be coming. Two, Villa Terrace Decorative Arts Museum and the Charles Atlas Art Museum. Milwaukee County has contributed roughly $225,000 to Charles Atlas and Villa Terrace into their operations annually since 2015. But as most county budgets are, they're a little squeezed as we look into 2025. So the county board Committee on Parks and Culture is considering proposals at its September 3rd meeting to explore the future of Villa Terrace and the Charles Allis Museum. One plan would keep Villa Terrace as a museum, privately run by the nonprofit group that is currently there. This Friends group wants the county to provide $3 million over 5 years to address all these deferred maintenance issues at this century-old, beautiful property. The group also wants $125,000 over 3 years to transition the operations, and it would raise some private funds up to $1.5 million to continue operations as a museum. The group is also willing to discuss the future of Charles Allis Art Museum on the east side as well. So that's kind of the state of the state, proposal number one. Proposal number two involves the Bartolotta Restaurant Group working with Delafield-based HF Hospitality to create a plan for purchasing the property and turning it into a high-end hospitality venue, which they've done with some other venues in the area as well. The third proposal on the table involves Dynamic Events, which is owned and operated by David Caruso. He would use the Villa Terrace as an events venue and the Alice Museum as a possible boutique hotel guest house with a room count to be determined according to the reporting on JS Online. This firm would buy the properties for $1 each. The county would provide up to $4 million in a 20-year loan at a 4% interest rate, and then work as a private-public partnership to redevelop the properties. So 3 proposals on the table. The future of the county and the museum world, always kind of up in the air, but it's good to see that the county's evaluating different proposals there. Next story I'm seeing, you should keep CNBC's Make It on your list. You have a side hustle? I think we all do. One of the reasons I love having Steve and Martin in the show, it's because they're true entrepreneurs at heart. Just quick story that I saw on CNBC. In 2017, a woman in Houston named Leanne Pettigrew, she got her first houseplant. She killed it. 5 years later, her and her husband
killed it literally, or killed it like it grew 20 feet.
It did not last.
It didn't sound
5 years
like
later.
The good part.
So literally killed it.
Her and her husband were redecorating their home in Houston, and they needed to fill the corners. So she went to Lowe's and bought a couple more houseplants. This hobby blossomed into an obsession. She found a marketplace called Palm Street, started doing live streaming, auctioning off houseplants that they were buying. So from July 2023 to this past year, this woman and her husband brought in $150,000 in total revenue, $12,000 per month doing live streaming and selling houseplants online. Wow. That is entrepreneurial spirit and side hustle in a beautiful, growing way, right?
It just goes to show you that there are niches for everyone. That is one that hustling and pimping houseplants was not on my bingo card for like side hustles that would make you 6 figures.
Like reselling? That's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, the power of live streaming, the power of a unique item.
What's the live stream aspect? Like, is she auctioning them off?
There's a marketplace site called Palm Street that she was using that has the platform available. So she was talking about the plants and talking about the care.
Guess what I'm doing tomorrow night?
Them.
With a bottle of wine.
Done.
Oh, boy.
All right, that's what we do. We highlight entrepreneurs, business leaders, people like Martin and Steve making things happen. A lot of side hustles out there, a lot of ways to create commerce and community. That's what we do on the Upswing. When we come back, Apple. Some changes at Apple in their services business, but how much are we spending monthly on all of those wonderful Apple products? This is the Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pebble Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
November 21st, 2021. The Waukesha Christmas Parade attack. A holiday celebration turned deadly. Darrell Brooks drove his SUV into the Waukesha crowd, targeting as many people as possible. Brooks injured dozens and killed 6, including an 8-year-old child. It never should have happened. Just days earlier, Brooks was arrested for trying to run over his girlfriend, but he was released on just $1,000 bail. Senator Tammy Baldwin voted against increased funding for pretrial detention of violent criminals like Darrell Brooks, making it easier for these criminals to terrorize our communities. Call Senator Baldwin, 608-264-5338. Urge her to support S3919, the Keep Violent Criminals Off Our Streets Act. Because violent criminals belong behind bars. Paid for by One Nation, www.onenationamerica.org.
Bank 59 has a mission to make lives better. That mission extends beyond their customers and communities to their employees. Bank 59 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 15 years in a row. In fact, they were named the #1 midsize employer in the region and earned special recognition for the company's overall direction. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 59? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Upswing, the future of almost everything, the future of Apple and the iPhones and their services business, something we all use each and every day. Apple made a round of job cuts on Tuesday, eliminating about 100 roles in its digital services group following, quote, a shift in priorities for the critical division. This, according to Bloomberg. The layoffs were said to affect some engineering roles as well as some in Apple News, but the biggest cuts were made to Apple Books app and the Apple Bookstore team. When you look at the services business at Apple, Martin, I'm going to turn to you first because I know you're
how dare you?
I love it. I love when Apple's on the list.
How dare you assume that I'm a fanboy, which I am.
Apple services revenue grew 14% this year already to $24.2 billion. And in fact, Apple's on track to make more than $100 billion in 2025 revenue just from its services. When you look at your monthly Apple bill, what are you thinking? And are you getting the value out of it?
I think I am. I mean,
Yeah.
I pay $45 a month for my iPhone, which is like their thing where you get the iPhone every year.
Lease, yep.
And then I pay $35 for Apple One, which gets me 2 terabytes of cloud storage, which I absolutely need because I have 50,000 videos and 100-something thousand photos on my phone.
Yeah.
I use Apple Fitness Plus every morning when me and my wife work out. I don't use news. Apple TV Plus, I use 100% now with the new season of Ted Lasso that's going to be coming out. I'm going to use it even more.
Yeah.
I feel like I get a great value for what I'm consuming and what I'm using, especially when I compare it to some other services that are half the price or similar where I never use them.
And to be able to have your whole ecosystem under that umbrella,
It's convenient.
is really helpful.
It's also a trap, but it's convenient.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. The Apple One model, I think it's $37.95 plus tax. I mean, we do the same thing in our house.
I think
How about you, Steve?
I think I'm moving to Apple One. The problem I have is a lot of the services side of Apple are just a little bit littered with too much friction. It's just not seamless like I'm used to with Google.
Sure.
But
yeah,
I want it all to work desperately.
Yeah. And then you got the iTunes match for our whole family's on Apple Music without a doubt.
So
it's
not
pretty amazing.
Spotify?
We're not a Spotify family. We're
because with the whole Apple One thing, I thought, what if I moved the family to Apple Music away from Spotify? But I'm so invested in Spotify.
That's tough, especially when you have your playlists.
I know.
And the algorithm knows everything very well. It's tough. I don't know if there's any apps that you can transition back and forth between the two, like you can with like photos and other things. But if there is, who knows how well it works.
$24.99 a month or $24.99 annually is iTunes Match. So it enables, we have 4 people in our family, so it's $2 a month essentially. So you're able to mix and match the music within the whole family. I mean, I think that's a pretty good investment for access pretty much to every song that's ever been created.
And for me, it's the synced playlists. I'm a huge playlist guy. I am constantly updating my playlists, and so to be able to like make a change on my phone, and then it's the changes there on my HomePod or my MacBook or my iPad, all that stuff it's super nice and convenient.
Yeah. I want to talk about some changes and some new things coming to Kohl's. But first, guys, especially in this back-to-school time we're in, when you're looking at how am I going to buy a new backpack? How am I going to buy new supplies for our kids? How am I going to buy new clothes? Where do you start that buying process? Steve?
I always Google the top 10 of that topic from some reputable website to see who is even in the mix, who should be in the mix of my decision process.
Wow.
Always start there.
All right. Martin, what's your buy journey?
I don't have kids. So
okay, all right. So
let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
How much of what you buy for your kids for school, backpacks and supplies and stuff, how much rolls over year to year? Do your kids get a new backpack every year? Is there supplies that that they get every year or
supplies? Yeah, but like backpacks usually last a couple of years at least.
Yeah,
couple, 2, 3,
maybe 2, depending on the age. But
yeah, I mean some of them are pretty fashion.
Don't those last like a lifetime or something?
No.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We used Wirecutter, which is owned by the New York Times, which will give you kind of an independent analysis of products. They had a backpack section for schools. I went through with my 12-year-old daughter. Hey, let's look at the top 5 that are rated.
Mm-hmm.
Let's analyze them based upon all the attributes, the colors, the fashion, but also the price.
Yeah.
And let her pick the one she wanted. Of course, she picked the Patagonia one, which is the most expensive. But
absolutely.
I think it's going to last a long time.
Yeah, it will. And, I think what's happening more as the kids get older, Martin, to your question is, they're coming with the one they want.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit easier to then go, okay, let's see what else is out there. If this is what you want, I can compare to this thing, because often they're not in the realm of reality.
How important to kids is the backpack? Like, is that the prized possession for going to school? It's an identity.
Usually the kids have at least one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fashion and function.
Sure.
But many kids don't even use lockers these days.
Right.
They're going to carry their backpack throughout the day and forget the locker, because I want the backpack to show, and it's a part of who I am.
Load that baby
my
up
identity.
with 75 pounds worth of books. And
Fletch has Ninja Turtles.
The Ninja Turtles?
Yeah,
I love it. Is it
loves
fun when they're younger and you get to get like the really fun ones, like the Princess one or the Ninja Turtles one, or the theme backpacks?
Because then they like put it on. They're like, oh yeah, I'm Donatello or whoever the Ninja
it's got
Turtle.
poodle ears dangling around on it and a tail. That's fun.
When I was a kid, I had a Spider-Man one that came with a little skateboard. I didn't use the skateboard, but I thought it was cool.
That's awesome.
And the LL Bean backpack I have right now, I've had since high school. So
there you go.
That's longevity. That's quality. I love it. Producer Jaslyn weighing in on the future of backpacks. Steve Glenn, Martin Moore. This is The Upswing. You are listening to WTMJ.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
I-94, eastbound. A semi just came to a screeching stop in the center lane. I think he's broken down right there.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
On southbound I-94, right around Drexel Avenue, there's a wreck in the left lane, and the left lane is blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Hi, it's WTMJ's Jeff Sherman with a few words about my good friends at Horicon Bank. For more than 125 years, Horicon Bank has built a foundation of beneficial relationships with their customers. Now serving the greater Milwaukee area with branches in Wauwatosa, right out there at the Mayfair Collection, my hometown, Wauwatosa, New Berlin, Menominee Falls, and Grafton. Horicon Bank is eternally linked to the growth and prosperity of the families and businesses in our community. Together, doing good. That's Horicon Bank's vision. For all of your commercial and personal banking needs, Horicon Bank truly is the natural choice. Member FDIC.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you also know we have the best prices guaranteed every day? Pet food, wild bird food, automotive, hunting, fishing, farming, you name it. All your everyday essentials, all at the best prices guaranteed. And if you happen to find a lower price elsewhere, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
For love of the game.
But there's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Bucks stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined by Martin Moore and Steve Glenn. The future of almost everything. Juice bars, are they back? What is the future of juice bars? What's your appetite for high-priced juices? A new Baya bar is coming to Milwaukee's East Side. Juices, bowls, toasts, smoothies, that type of thing. You know, for years, guys, grocers have tried these juice bars at their locations, at least locally here. You look at Whole Foods on the East Side, the Metro Market in Shorewood. Juice bars haven't lasted. They're pretty high-priced, labor-intensive, but smoothies are, you know, they're that new fast food that are a little higher priced, you know, $8 or $9. It's that healthy fast food alternative.
Is it?
You
Well,
guys,
that's
are you
what
big
I
juice
want to
guys?
talk
You
about.
big smoothie guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are?
I not regularly, probably every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I kind of need to be prompted by an offer or something in my feed to say, all right, you should get a smoothie instead of getting a sub for
How do you
lunch.
feel after you drink it?
I feel
hungry.
I always say there's a little too much sugar in these
That's what I
smoothies.
worry about. That is the main thing I worry about is, are they filled with sugar?
Yes.
Because I don't know. I don't know what's, I see it's fruit going there sometimes. Yogurt.
Fruit's got sugar, believe it or
sometimes.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, fruit, yogurt,
And then
and
extra
then
stuff.
added sugars.
Yeah.
They're not as healthy as
Natural sugar.
as you think they
Yeah.
are. Yes.
Yeah. But they're delicious.
They are. Yes.
Especially
So's
the
pizza
Jamba
and-
Juice. So is
And
pizza.
Thin Mints.
And hot wings.
So in terms of the standalone juice bar coming into a market, a new franchise, what are your thoughts there?
My kids are totally going to be all over this.
Yeah.
I could take it or leave it, but yeah, the kids will drive us there and we'll get some, I'm sure.
I mean, you're seeing that type of thing at Starbucks and other providers. You know, they're offering more iced drinks, more frozen drinks, and more kind of fruit-forward
Fruit-filled,
drinks to kind of fill that niche.
Yeah, and they're premium priced.
Yeah. Without a doubt, $8-9 for a smoothie.
That's what it costs for a smoothie?
Yeah.
Could you
Or
imagine
more.
if you invested that in a Roth IRA and
Or
then just waited
more.
like 40, 50 years?
Always thinking about the long-term investments. I love it. So this week, Kohl's Corporation has been trying to make some strategic changes to improve the financial performance of the company. Kind of most recent results have been a little bit of mixed. On Wednesday, the company revealed its second quarter earnings call with analysts made a profit of $66 million despite a sales decrease of 4.2% for the quarter. They're adding more dress shops, they're adding more baby stores, they're adding more Sephora. What does Kohl's and Kohl's Cash mean to you guys?
I love me some Kohl's Cash. Boy,
Really?
you can. That's like dealing in gold bars for me. Kohl's Cash.
I once knew the stat of how much extra people spent with just $10 in Kohl's Cash. The $10 in Kohl's Cash would drive them to the store, and they would spend like $60 at least, average.
I think it's genius.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
they have it all figured out.
Yeah.
But there's been many times, though, where I feel like I've robbed them. And I've went in there and bought like $400 worth of stuff, and I walked out and it was like $1.27.
The large
They got you
retail
still.
loyalty programs, I think Kohl's does a wonderful job with
They're
that.
one of
And
the
I think
best.
they need to continue to lean into it. Even as you're going into more dress shops, more Sephoras, and more baby stores, that's something that should go in on.
Absolutely.
All right, WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next. And then we're going to explore the American dream. What is the future of the American dream? Martin Moore, Steve Glenn. I'm Jeff Sherman.
ABC News. I'm Derek Dennis. A new development in the wake of the Larry Nassar sex abuse saga involving USA Gymnastics. A Justice Department watchdog report says the FBI mishandled numerous sex abuse tips even after Nassar was convicted as a child predator.
Horowitz says the agency continued to mishandle similar claims. Of nearly 4,000 child sexual abuse cases opened by the FBI between October of 2021 and February of last year, Horowitz's office found 42 cases in which investigators had to flag the FBI for immediate attention.
ABC's Jim Ryan on the report from DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz. The federal government out with new numbers on the nation's gross domestic product, growing last quarter at a healthy 3% annual pace. And 9 people have died, 57 others injured in 18 states from boar's head deli meat linked to a deadly listeria outbreak nationwide. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. The state is now confirming 2 people from Wisconsin have died from West Nile virus, the mosquito-borne illness. A third person said to be in the hospital today. The virus is reported in residents living in Brown, Outagamie, and Fond du Lac counties. The news comes as several states across the country are taking action to try to prevent West Nile from spreading. There are calls for Green Bay Correctional Institution to be closed after an inmate was killed by his cellmate, police say. As that investigation gets underway, Village of Alloway President Jim Rafter tells NBC 26 he believes the facility, which is more than 100 years old, should be shut down. And Decision Wisconsin President Joe Biden plans to visit Southwest Wisconsin on Thursday, a week from today. He'll highlight his administration's investments. His visit is the first to the Badger State since dropping out of the race. Former President Donald Trump campaigns in La Crosse tonight. Time now for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is up 302 to 41,394. The Nasdaq is up 178 to 17,734. And the S&P is up 39 to 5631. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. WTMJ. Johnson & Sons Paving time saver traffic heads up 43 southbound. Really slow going right now as you're heading in from the north into the city, so be careful for that. Fox Point area, you've seen some very heavy slowdowns, 43 south. Once you get through there past Silver Spring, you should be good the rest of the way, but it's slow at the moment getting through that stretch there, so be mindful of that. 94 eastbound is looking good, Highway 16 all the way in, and 894 westbound still slow from the Mitchell to the Hale, of course, because of the road work in that area. The WTMJ 5-day forecast. For the day today, partly cloudy, a high of 80 degrees inland. Should be a nice one today. A little bit of humidity still lingering. Tonight, cloudy, chance for showers and isolated thunderstorms, a low of 70. For Friday, rain and storms, cloudy and humid again tomorrow, a high of 82. Weekend looks nice, sunny, high of 82 on Saturday. Sunday, sunny, 76. Monday, Labor Day, sunny and a high of 72. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:34.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, inviting you on an unforgettable 2025 European journey. Travel in style, embrace beauty, and create memories with new friends as you visit our favorite destinations, including Ireland, Italy, Germany, France, Switzerland, Poland, Croatia, and more. Whether it's your first or your 10th time visiting Europe, you don't want to miss out on our expertly crafted group tours with Insight Vacations, Globus, or Avalon Waterways. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Let's explore the world together.
When I finished law school, my grandpa was long retired from working in the Rapids paper mill.
Dan Krause, Army veteran and owner of Krause Estate Planning in Brookfield.
Grandma and Grandpa asked me to help them get their wills set up. This was my first experience helping people with estate planning. I loved it. I loved helping my grandparents with this. Now, 25 years later, essentially that's all we do. We help people with wills, trusts, and asset protection.
Shore up your estate plan with Krause Estate Planning in Brookfield.
Your basement. Ooh, wall cracks. Oh no, seepage. And stains on the bottom of those walls. Terrifying. The only thing scarier than basement issues are businesses that prey on your fear over those terrifying foundational cracks. The team at Gatish Foundation never uses high-pressure sales tactics. Over 90% of Gatish Foundation's jobs are through referrals. So, for an honest opinion on the condition of your basement, call Gatish Foundation today. Spelled G-A-I-Dish. Gatish.com.
Farmers, there's no better time than now to upgrade your dump trucks and dump trailers with Horn Plastic Super Slide bed liners. Save 10% with their pre-harvest special from Super Slide. Super Slide liners help maximize your efficiencies during harvest season and beyond. Super Slide liners are high-performance bed liners that help preserve your truck beds and perform great in any condition. Don't let your profits get stuck in your truck. Call Horn Plastics today or visit hornplastics.com. Let it slide with the Super Slide liners from Horn Plastics.
Welcome back to the Upswing, the future of almost everything. Martin Moore, Steve Glenn, I'm Jeff Sherman. Wall Street Journal with a big story about the future of the American dream. 12 years ago, when researchers at the Public Religion Research Institute, they asked 2,500 people, is the American dream still holding true? More than half the people said it did. Now, the Wall Street Journal just this week asked the same question, and that response dropped to a third of respondents. Before we get in a little bit more here, Steve, what's that American dream mean to you right now?
You know, it used to be a lot of things that I think are shifting. I mean, I don't know. A new house? House, like owning your house?
The ability to buy your first
to buy a house?
A buy home?
Yeah.
That's kind of a standard definition.
That's been like the thing, but so many people struggle around that. And some people are just not even doing that anymore.
Yeah. And you kind of think, all right, where does that responsibility lie? You know, what is that on the government? Is it on the family structure? Is it on the community? To get to that first house, how do we make that
more accessible?
More accessible and not truly a dream for people that can't achieve it. What do you think, Martin?
I mean, on the house thing?
On the house thing. Yes.
I mean, obviously there's a massive need for starter homes. It's not financially advantageous for developers to build, a 1 or 2 bedroom house anymore. Everything's got to be 4, 5, 6 bedrooms and bathrooms, and they got to make a bunch of money on it. And so there's a lot of people that are just priced out of owning a home. And I mean, if you want to create, personal wealth, generational wealth for everybody, you have to have housing that's accessible financially for everybody. You can't just have $750,000 houses out there and then expect everyone to. That's just not in some people's price point. And it's not like a lot. It's not like $150,000, $200,000 house is that much more equivalent to a lot of rent that people are paying today. So you can still get a house for what you pay for rent or sometimes under, but the inventory is just not there.
Yeah. I mean, especially in a political year, the packaging and the positioning around the American dream, should that come from our candidates? Like, should that come from our communities, or should it come from the people in our lives?
I think both.
Yeah.
For me, the American dream is just, it's happiness. And whatever that looks like to you, whether that's having a family, starting your own business, being a puppeteer, a trapeze artist, whatever completes you. And every night when you go to bed with a smile on your face and you wake up with a smile on your face. For me, that's the American dream. And I think that's accessible to everyone who wants it. But I also think there's a lot of people who are in positions at no fault of their own, who maybe might not have access to some of those starting points. I think there's a lot of lazy people out there who want to try and game the system and don't really want something as bad as they pretend that they do. And so that's sort of my hot take on the American dream.
We were going to let you go on that.
I mean, I could riff for about 25 minutes on the American dream.
It speaks to the importance of education and mentorship in everyone's lives, no matter how or where you are on the income spectrum.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to see, my grandparents immigrated here, and they had a certain American dream achievement, and then they make it better for the next generation that then makes it better. And ideally that's, part of that dream system where you're every generation is shortening the curve for the next.
It all comes down to opportunity. Opportunity is gonna yield you everything, and we need to give as many people as many opportunities as possible. Without opportunity, you're just treading water, you know.
Right, and that opportunity, it's a collaborative effort between everyone. It's not just the politicians. It's just not mom and dad. It's not just the community. Everyone has to work together to provide those resources, and that's what it's all about. And we are indeed getting there. So a couple years ago, the folks behind the energy drink, kind of the extreme sports world, soccer team ownership, the big brand Red Bull brought this huge event to Milwaukee. Wowed about 50,000 people at Milwaukee's lakefront. This Saturday, Red Bull's coming back with a big wakeboard event. You talk about living your happiness, living your dream, following what you're good at doing. Athletes are entrepreneurs at the heart. We got a couple of Red Bull athletes coming in studio to talk about Red Bull Wake the City that is happening Saturday right here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. This is the future of almost everything. Steve Glenn, Martin Moore. I'm Jeff Sherman. This is The Upswing. We're presented by Horicon Bank.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too.
She absolutely nailed it.
Are you talking about Jenny Sambeline? Yeah, Jenny and her pendant, the music in a mother's heart. Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Jenny, we're going to produce your pendant design as a limited edition collector's item and put a few of them in all of our 8 Kessler stores.
Congratulations, Jenny. Wow, this is huge. Jenny, we expect the music in a mother's heart to sell out very quickly.
We'll also make a few available online.
I designed that pendant from the memory of how my mother made me feel when we'd sing together.
How often did that happen?
Constantly. We'd sing along with whatever was playing on the radio, or sometimes we would watch a musical on TV and sing along with that.
At just $124, the music in a mother's heart is going to sell out lightning fast.
I'm buying one.
I'm buying one. I bought the prototype the moment I saw it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
September baseball is coming, and every Brewers game means even more this time of year. Get to American Family Field as the Crew takes on the Rockies September 6th through the 8th. Get your seats now at Brewers.com.
November 21st, 2021. The Waukesha Christmas Parade attack. A holiday celebration turned deadly. Darrell Brooks drove his SUV into the Waukesha crowd, targeting as many people as possible. Brooks injured dozens and killed 6, including an 8-year-old child. It never should have happened. Just days earlier, Brooks was arrested for trying to run over his girlfriend, but he was released on just $1,000 bail. Senator Tammy Baldwin voted against increased funding for pretrial detention of violent criminals like Darrell Brooks, making it easier for these criminals to terrorize our communities. Call Senator Baldwin, 608-264-5338. Urge her to support S3919, the Keep Violent Criminals Off Our Streets Act. Because violent criminals belong behind bars. Paid for by One Nation, www.onenationamerica.org.
Did your home suffer damage from a storm or severe weather? Don't stress any longer. Loyal Family Renovations treats all of its customers like they've joined their personal family, and every project as if the work was being done at their own house. Loyal Family Renovations has a leg up on the competition due to the personal relationships they've built with insurance adjusters over the years. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today to get your free home inspection. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Fall Footwear Sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on your favorite brands of fall boots and shoes. Right now, all Skechers are buy one, get one half price. Find value throughout the store, like $50 off a Chamberlain chain drive garage door opener with Wi-Fi, 20% off assorted GE light bulbs. Buy 3 Cooper tires, get one free. And all Blaine's Farm and Fleet stores will be closed Monday, September 2nd, so our associates can celebrate Labor Day.
Welcome back to The Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, the future of almost everything, the future of sports, right here in the studio, making its debut in the United States. Saturday, Red Bull's Wake the City brings kind of this first-of-a-kind format to wakeboarding. 36 of the world's best professional riders are going to face off in a big doubles competition this Saturday. Kind of came from the canals of Milan to the shores of Lake Michigan. We have athletes, we have entrepreneurs, we got love in the studio too. We're going to get to that in a minute. The party's going to rock all afternoon long right at Lakeshore State Park, downtown, adjacent to the Summerfest grounds. You can grab a spot on the shoreline. It's free, powered by Red Bull. 2 Red Bull athletes in studio, Gunther Oka, Megan Ethel. Megan, you're from Chicago, right?
I am.
Well, welcome to Milwaukee. We'll take you anyway.
Excited to be here.
All right. So give us the background of how you got into wakeboarding. Is this a full-time gig for you?
Yes, this is a full-time gig for me. Originally just outside of Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
I learned how to wakeboard in Michigan. I feel like that's usually the thing to go over to Michigan for the summer.
Okay.
Get out on the lake there. A Midwest local.
Very good. So in terms of the competition that we'll see this weekend, how does it work? What's the competitive aspect of it? Are you going for prize money? Just kind of walk us through what people can expect to see.
Yeah, so Red Bull Wake the City is happening this weekend, August 31st at Henry Meyer Festival Park. It starts at 12 o'clock. From 12 to 5, the gates are open, and we will be in a wakeboard event riding doubles with a partner.
Okay.
It's kind of a different twist on a wakeboarding contest, but a really fun one for spectators to watch.
All right. So, Gunther, in terms of your training for the event and just what you do to prepare, walk us through that process.
Yeah, this one's a little bit different because typically when we wakeboard, we're wakeboarding by ourselves, right? Like, water sports, and that way it's kind of an individualized sport. We're behind the boat or we're underneath the cable by ourselves. And now we're incorporating another rider riding simultaneously, like neck and neck with each other, right?
Wow.
So you're kind of thinking about yourself, but you're also thinking about not running over your partner or, clipping them with the rope and things like that. So it brings out this really fun vibe of like what water sports is all about, which is, being together on the water with friends. And so we're going about this, we're training for the event, but we're also kind of open to whatever happens in the moment. We got to just be ready and make the most of it, I guess.
Okay, very good.
I'm just thinking the temperature of the water. Like, have you tested it out yet?
We dipped a toe in yesterday, and it's a little brisk out there.
Yeah,
but
I did not. So,
like a Red Bull. Like a Red Bull.
So in terms of the competition itself, is it a scoring system? How do you, I've never watched a wakeboarding event, so when I'm there, how am I going to know who's winning, who's losing, and what are you going for?
Yeah, we've got a panel of like 3 judges, so I believe they're going to give us a score out of 100. We get 3 runs.
Okay.
So you go down and back, that's run 1, down and back again, that's 2, and then back down and back is 3. They're going to take your best run from those 3. So you kind of have 3 opportunities to show the judges your best line, your best style of riding. They pick from that, and then if your scores, I think if you're in the top 6, you advance to the next round, then the top 3 to the next round. And the judges will be there handing out your score out of 100.
All right, very good. Making its debut in the United States right here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee, Red Bull Wake the City. When we come back, more conversation with 2 of the big Red Bull athletes who are in town this weekend, Gunther Oka and Megan Ethel. We're going to talk about what their relationship is all about, too, because we like to create love right here on the Upswing. This is the Upswing. We are presented by Horicon Bank.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Procrastination Officer Brian Wickert. Most homeowners and home shoppers have heard the Federal Reserve will cut rates by 0.25% in mid-September. Well, I have great news. When it comes to mortgage rates, it's like the cut has already happened. That's how markets work, and it means there's no reason to wait to either start or resume your home search because most 30-year fixed-rate loan scenarios will now have a rate and APR that starts with the number 6 instead of 7-point-something. The already lower mortgage rates also mean the refi window of opportunity is open for folks who bought their homes earlier this year or late last year with a rate in the mid to high 7s. If you can save $1,000 a year in payments and spend less than that in refi loan cost, do it. AccuNet can also typically offer a genuine no loan cost refi, which makes lowering your payment a genuine no-brainer. Don't wait. Click on the blue button today for a no-pressure refi checkup or to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper-Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. Or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
These are powerful, FDA-approved pharmacological pain treatments precisely administered by an easy injection to the root source of your pain. Positive patient outcomes are over 91%. And we do this conveniently. The entire process is performed in office, so it's very easy for our patients.
Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, with the help of some of the finest pain relief physicians in the country, have helped bring their proprietary pain treatment formula to the forefront of pain relief medicine. Having performed over 100,000 pain treatments and counting, patient results have shown again and again that pain relief is possible in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, with some patients' pain relief lasting more than 2 years.
We're in network with almost all major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, and this could mean zero out-of-pocket costs for your pain relief treatment.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing, the future of almost everything. Let's give away a gift card to the Mine Shaft restaurant in either Hartford or Oshkosh. Sherman family, we're in the North Shore of Milwaukee, but even at the end of the summer now, we got to get the kids out of the attic, get them away from the Xbox occasionally, get them away from their phones. Mom and Dad can hang out at the bar at the Mine Shaft. Get them into the $2 million game room at the Mine Shaft. They're going to hang out. They're going to have fun. Mom and Dad will have some pizza, maybe a beer or two, and it's going to be a good, family-friendly, fun event. Caller number 5 at 855-616-1620 gets a gift card to the historic Mine Shaft and a friendly reminder that today, Thursdays, each and every week, feature buy one, get one free pizza. All right, good thing, free pizza. Free wakeboarding this weekend, this Saturday in Milwaukee. Red Bulls Wake the City event is here. And two of the athletes who are on the wakeboards, but also in the midst of planning a wedding, are with us today. Megan, Gunther, how are you managing the wonderful challenge of coordinating a wedding, coordinating your kind of day-to-day athlete duties, and everything that comes with it?
And is Red Bull sponsoring the wedding?
I've actually gotten that question a lot. But no, they are not.
No, we're going to have the archway with just the Red Bull logo at the top. It's going to be insane.
You'll wakeboard
through it. Yes. Riding doubles, just like at Wake the City, you know?
Yeah.
Saying our vows on the rope. There you go.
No, it's definitely had its challenges for sure, but we've now been together for over 8 years, and
Okay. Wow, cool.
and we've navigated all of those little challenges. So now it's really fun. We get to travel the world together and live this really unique life together.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. we get to actually skip the part of planning hair pulling wedding. We're going to New Zealand at the end, beginning of October. We have our World Championships are in Australia.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to be heading over to New Zealand after that and getting eloped, 2 of us, and
That
keeping
works.
it nice and easy. So
congratulations.
Thanks.
That's great. So in terms of the regular competitive events, what do those look like from kind of a prize money standpoint? Is there prize money for each event, or is the prize money come at the end of the year? Just kind of walk us through the economics of the sport from an athlete lens.
So we usually have a prize pool that we get at the end of the event, usually like a few weeks after it happens. So we get paid throughout the year, and it can range. I mean, just depending on the event, it can range from a couple of grand to over like 10 grand. Kind of just depends on the sponsors for the event and who's putting on the prize money. But not a bad gig.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're entrepreneurs and athletes, and this is a full-time gig for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What about the like product endorsements? Are you all using the same gear, or how do you source that?
We all there's various different brands that come into wakeboarding. So you kind of have like our hard goods, which is the wakeboards that we ride on, the bindings that keep our feet in place. We have soft goods for the wetsuits that we wear, the life jackets, the clothing. Obviously, energy is a big one, so shout out Red Bull there. And then, what's also very popular among this area throughout the Midwest is boating. So we have the endorsements of Megan has her own boat brand, I have my own boat brand. And so that is a huge part of what we do and allows us to get people out on the water and help us train in the backyard day to day.
And there's standards with that technology. Everyone's kind of got to use the same gear to make sure that you're all on the same plane, so to speak.
I think it varies a little bit, but at this point, man,
I'm looking for the tips.
looking for the tricks.
Yeah.
At this point, though, all the equipment, everything's gotten so good, and the boats are so unbelievable, to be in, and so that it's kind of hard to go wrong when you're picking equipment.
All right, very
Definitely.
good. Gunther Oka, Megan Ethel, I appreciate your time. Red Bull's Wake the City is Saturday, a wakeboarding competition. 36 of the best athletes from around the world right here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. All the best on the wedding and all the best this weekend, Saturday at Lakeshore State Park. This is The Upswing. We're presented by Horicon Bank. Coming up next, Wisconsin's Midday News, an abbreviated version because Brewers baseball is on board this afternoon.
I'm Dave Sager. I'm the chairman of Bethlehem Evangelical Lutheran Church and School in